Hello, BookTube. I've got a little mail haul for you here. 4 packages, only one of which is normal. Only one of which is normal sized. All the others are these gigantic roof shingles. But we'll hope that big packages have good surprises in them. But first we'll do the normal sized one. Just an ordinary envelope. Let's see what we have. Oh, okay, great. Fantastic. This is the finished copy of something that we've seen already, and it got a lot of good response. A lot of you are interested, and that's great. That's exactly what I want when we rummage through my mail together, is that you will see something that interests you, and you'll know that it's coming. That's all. You'll just know that it's coming, so that if it really interests you, you can pre-order it or request it at your library if they don't have a heads up on it, or at least you'll know to budget for it when it comes to your bookstore. This was definitely one of those. This was in the mail hall where this was hauled. This was one of the most popular things. This is by Nancy Marie Brown, and it is the Real Viking, the Real Valkyrie. Sorry, the hidden history of Viking warrior women. And this comes out at the end of August, so this is the finished copy. So we were over this just a bit ago. In 2017, DNA tests revealed to the collective shock of many scholars that a Viking warrior in a high-status grave in Sweden was actually a woman. And this prompts the author to imagine that woman's life. She names her character Birka, and takes us through this imagined life in ways that aren't exactly, that don't sound exactly like they're outlandish. Uses science to link the Birka warrior, whom she names Hervor. Oh, I'm sorry. The warrior. The location is Birka. The warrior she names Hervor. To Viking trading towns and to their great trade route east to Byzantium and beyond. She imagines her life intersecting with larger-than-life but real women, including Queen Gunhild, Mother of Kings, the Viking leader known as the Red Girl, and Queen Olga of Kiev. Hervor's short, dramatic life shows that much of what we have taken as truth about women in the Viking Age is not based on data, but on 19th century Victorian biases. So I have the advanced copy of this thing, and I haven't got to it yet, which feels really bad, because the end of August is right around the corner. It doesn't feel like it is, but you know that it is. You know you're going to feel that way when it gets here. So now I have the advanced copy. Now I have the finished copy. I can get right to it. And then we have all of these boat-sized things. So let's deal with these pressure-packed 42nd Street skimmers. Let's see what the first one is here. Oh, okay. Okay, great. All right, we went through this in the last mail haul, I think. This is the New York Review of Books. They have a rather ambitious publishing arm that is reprinting lots of stuff that hasn't been reprinted in English in America in a long time or never. Also, shepherding into print new editions of things that, and I've mentioned many times before, their editorial board obviously has lots of megawatt brains sitting there at that table, and that is great. I totally respect that. Usually their choices aren't very amenable to my own megawatt brain, but they are very popular. In fact, I directed a lot of you, if you like the idea of these things, they're really well made trade paperbacks. You could do worse than to subscribe. Go over to the New York Review of Books and subscribe. And I think one of you, I didn't know any details. I assumed that a subscription package would be possible. One of you went over and I think left a comment or sent me an email. I'm in my comments field all the time, but I also leave my email in every video, so I lose track of what goes to me, what gets to me in which way. But somebody said that the deal is really good, that it boils down to basically $9 a book. Which is great if true, because this is a new book at $16. But anyway, this is the Guerro Affair by Jean-Patrick Machette, with introduction by Gary Indiana, who we saw yesterday. Jean-Patrick Machette single-handedly reinvented the crime genre in France by writing through a new framework, left-wing politics. As a young man, he wrote for communist newspapers and was involved in the National Students' Union. And his novels commented on and illuminated the ills of capitalism, police and state violence, alienation, and imperialism, although he also had a healthy dose of skepticism against idealism and change by violence. Goodbye, au revoir, Monsieur Poirot. Poirot is gone, even though, to quote the immortal movie Murder by Death, I'm not a Frenchie. I'm a Belgie. Anyway, uh, so this is what have we got here then? The NYRB Classics is publishing the first translation of one of Manchette's most ambitious works. Wow, see what I mean? So this isn't like you know, an old French classic that has had 2 or 3 different translations from Random House or Viking or whatever. This is the first one in English. This is translated by Donald Nicholson Smith, and the setting is the battle against colonialism, specifically and fictionally, the 1965 assassination of Mehdi Ben Barka. Barka was an exiled Moroccan politician and anti-imperialist writer who was assassinated in circumstances that remained mysterious for many years. This book is told through the recordings left behind of the already dead Henri Burton, loosely based on Georges Figon, a freelance secret agent who was found dead, ruled to be suicide, after he testified to French judges that Barka was stabbed by the Moroccan interior minister. Okay, so I don't think it's unfair to say this is going to require a little bit of Googling before you, unless you're conversant with these affairs. It's going to take a little bit of Googling for you to, a little bit of Wikipedia, a little bit of time on Wikipedia to set you up before you go in here. I don't get the I don't know this author at all, but I don't get the impression that he's much on filling you in. So you probably want to arm yourself ahead of time. But there you go. So this comes out, is this another August release? No, late September. This comes out in late September. I must definitely be on the NYRB's list, because I'm getting their books and without requesting them. So somehow or other my name must have got on a list, and that's fantastic. I wholly applaud that. They don't have after all, the point of going through our mail like this is to show you books that you might want a lot more than I do. I see that all the time. Then we'll deal with this next building shingle, one of these adhesive things that you sort of have to take care of it. You can't just leave it around, or it will stick to everything in creation. Because God forbid you make it easy. You know? God forbid you just put a book in a manila envelope and mail it off. The U.S. Postal System doesn't lose things with enough frequency to warrant this kind of Fort Knox treatment. But anyway, what have we got? Oh, fantastic. Oh, great. Okay, I requested this of the publicist, and they came through, as they always do. They are the best people in the bookish world. This is something we've seen already. We saw the second book. This is the first book in the series by Camilla Trinchieri. This is Murder in Chianti. And this is the neat paperback right there from Soho Crime. You've got their classic look on the spine there. A lot of you got in touch with me when I read the description of the second book in this series. This is the first book. Wondering if it was in paperback, and there's your answer. It's in a very pretty paperback. So this is going to introduce our main character, the classic fish out of water detective. Let's see here. Mourning the loss of his wife, Rita, former NYPD homicide detective Nico Doyle moves to her hometown of Gravigna in the wine-soaked region of Chianti. Half Italian and half Irish, Nico finds himself able to get by in the region with the help of Rita's relatives, but he still feels alone and out of place. Classic setup for a murder. He isn't sure if it's peace he's seeking, but it isn't what he finds. Early one morning, he hears a gunshot and a dog's cries near his home and walks out to discover a dead body in the woods, flashily dressed in gold tennis shoes. When Salvatore Perillo, the local marshal, discovers Nico's professional background, he enlists his help with the case. It turns out more than one person in this idyllic corner of Italy knew the victim, and with a very small pool of suspects, including his own in-laws, Nico must dig up Gravigna's every last painful secret to get to the truth. And if you remember the second book in the series, it looks like, it sounds from the description, I haven't gotten to the second book in the series yet, but that's good because I can read this one first. But it sounds from the description of the plot of the second book in the series that Nico's in-laws are likely suspects from that second murder as well. So I don't know if they're trouble. In-laws usually are. But anyway, then we'll do with this last package here. Heavy. Promisingly heavy. Could be a finished copy of something, or else something that's coming out, a review copy of something that's coming out that's quite Steve-sized. Oh no, it's a review copy. Oh great! Oh fantastic! Fantastic! Oh, this is just what I wanted. Okay, great. So this comes out in the end of August. A joy to behold. This is by Jin Yong, and this is A Heart Divided. This is Legends of the Condor Heroes Part 4. They all have this lovely, distinctive spine. I have been loving this series, absolutely loving it. And here we have the 4th volume. That is great. This is the final volume in the high-stakes, tension-filled epic Legends of the Condor Heroes, where Kung Fu is magic, kingdoms vie for power, and the battle to become the ultimate Kung Fu master unfolds. I have loved these books, absolutely loved them, and now the series ends. In the 4th, this takes place in China. The pub sheet says China 1200 AD. It is actually AD 1200. Okay, BC goes at the end, AD goes at the front. In the 4th and final volume of Legends of the Condor Heroes, the author is Guo Jing is at last forced to make the choice between loyalty to the land of his birth and keeping faith with Genghis Khan, who's been like a father to him. He's like a father to me too. When it comes to matters of the heart, troubled waters stir there as well when Guo Jin's love for Lotus Wang is tested when he becomes convinced that her father has murdered someone dear to him. As Mongol armies descend on China, Jin Yong brings this most beloved of his novels to a thrilling conclusion, complete with vast battles, stirring heroism, heartbreak, triumph, and loss. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Such a joy. And this comes out at the end of August, so I am perfectly within my rights to read it tonight. And I want to. Unlike with these Tuscany mysteries, I don't need to do any catching up. I remember these books quite well. I have been loving this series. Going to be sorry to see it end, but I'm glad that, who is this? St. Martin's Griffin. I'm really glad that they went the extra distance. I'm really glad that they've made these things lovely. In addition to translating them, which is a gigantic labor in its own right. I'm really glad of that. So that's a mail haul, a pretty good mail haul for a humid, overcast day. I predicted that we might not get any, that Boston might not get any of the forecasted rain. And we did. We got a little, just a sprinkling, a tiny bit here and there. The ground was a little damp first thing this morning when the Bean and I went out. And today has just been steamy, humid. But very overcast, very somber, always with the overcast isn't uniform, so there's always been the sort of the lingering threat of rain popping up just everywhere. So it's been a very deep woodwinds kind of day, but the full brass, starts tomorrow when Boston enters a genuine heat wave. A genuine heat wave. 90 degrees Fahrenheit tomorrow, 100 degrees Fahrenheit on Thursday, 95 degrees Fahrenheit on Friday, 95 degrees Fahrenheit on Saturday. It's going to be, the next 4 days are going to be pretty beastly. But the mail will come. So this won't be the last time. But we have the Real Valkyrie. We have A Heart Divided. That is fantastic. Can't wait. Love this series. We have the Guerro Affair by Jean-Patrick Manchette. I wonder if any of you know this author. You'll know the author better than I will. And Murder in Chianti, the first book in a series that is only 2 books old from Soho, from the folks at Soho Press, about a fish out of water New York City police detective in the Chianti region of Italy, who is tapped by his friend to help him solve murders. And the minute that happens, it's the Jessica Fletcher system. The minute you extend your help, the murders just keep happening. It's not like you say, yeah, I'll help you out, and then 50 years later, you and your Marshall friend are retirees on the back porch saying, hey, remember that murder we solved? No, you're solving a murder every week, every hour. But it doesn't matter to me. That's what murder mysteries are built on. So there you go. That is the mail for today. Hope you saw something that was of interest to you. Cannot recommend the Legends of the Condor Heroes enough. Some of you, I'm sure, have been following the series, but I love it. I absolutely, it's just the exact kind of multi-character, epic sweep, real stakes type of heroic fantasy that I just love. So very happy to have this volume. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.